The late afternoon sunlight slants through the windows of Rosie's diner as I untie my apron. My fingers work the knot on autopilot, mind already drifting to home. 8 hours on my feet, dodging customers and balancing trays, has left my lower back throbbing. "You heading out, Laurel?" Donna calls from behind the register, her reading glasses perched on the end of her nose as she counts the day's receipts. "Yeah, Mom's making pot roast tonight. I tuck my tips into my wallet. $3. Not bad for a Tuesday. Every dollar counts for the community college fund." The bus drops me 3 blocks from our house. The September air carries the first hint of fall, crisp against my face after the grease-heavy atmosphere of the diner. Our neighborhood sits quiet in that peculiar after-school, before-dinner lull. Mrs. Abernathy waters her mums. The Sullivan kids race bikes up and down their driveway. Normal. Ordinary. The first warning comes when I turn onto our street. No cars in the driveway. Dad's Buick should be there. He always beats me home on Tuesdays. Mom's station wagon is missing too. The second warning is silence. Pure, absolute silence as I climb the porch steps. No television blaring sports updates for Dad. No Colton playing video games. No Mom calling out to ask about my day. My key turns in the lock. The door swings open to nothing. Just empty space where our lives should be. "Hello?" My voice bounces off bare walls and hardwood floors. "Mom? Dad?" The echo mocks me. I step inside, my sneakers squeaking against the floor. The living room stretches before Menict. No couch where Dad napped on Sundays. No armchair where Mom folded laundry. No coffee table stacked with Colton's homework and Dad's sports magazines. My hand flies to my mouth. This can't be right. This isn't our house. Except it is. The chip in the doorframe from when Colton rode his scooter indoors. The stain on the ceiling from last year's roof leak. "Colton?" I call out, voice rising. "Is this some kind of joke?" I rush through the dining room empty. The china cabinet gone. The table where we'd eaten breakfast this morning vanished. Kitchen next. Cabinet standing open, contents cleared out except for a few mismatched mugs and chipped plates. The refrigerator hums, nearly empty inside save for a half-gallon of milk and some condiments. My legs wobble beneath me as I spin toward the hallway. 3 steps at a time up to the bedrooms. My parents' room stripped bare. Mattress gone, closets emptied. Colton's room nothing but dust outlines where his posters had hung. Bathroom towel racks empty, medicine cabinet cleared. When I reach my room, a strangled sound escapes my throat. My bed remains, sheets rumpled, just as I'd left them. My dresser stands sentry by the window, clothes still folded inside. My bookshelf, my desk, my laptop all untouched. Just my things. Only my things. Back downstairs, running now, heart hammering against my ribs. That's when I spotted a single sheet of paper on the kitchen counter. I snatch it up, hands trembling so badly I can barely focus on the familiar handwriting. "You're smart. You'll figure it out." Mom's handwriting. Mom's dismissal. 5 decades of rage and disbelief collide in my chest. My phone comes out of my pocket. Dad's number first. "The number you have dialed is no longer in service." Mom's same message. Even Colton's prepaid phone thing. I slide down against the kitchen cabinet until I hit the floor, knees pulled to my chest. The note crumples in my fist as memories flash like warning signals I'd missed. Last week, Mom and Dad whispering in the kitchen, falling silent when I walked in. Yesterday, Colton hugging me before school, holding on too long. "Take care of yourself, Laurel," he'd said. Not "see you later," not "bye." Sunday, Dad insisting we take a family photo on the front porch. "For posterity," he'd said with a strange smile. Yesterday, Mom asking about my shift schedule. "You're working until close tomorrow, right?" The pieces slot together with sickening clarity. This wasn't an emergency. This wasn't an accident. They'd planned this. Darkness creeps through the windows as I sit motionless on the kitchen floor. Still in my waitress uniform, ketchup stain on the sleeve, smell of French fries clinging to my hair. My phone glows as I pull up Sarah's number. "Hey, what's up?" Sarah answers, music playing in the background. "They're gone." My voice cracks. "My family. They took everything and left." Silence from her end. Then, "What? Laurel, that's not. Are you serious? Can I stay with you tonight?" The words burn my throat. "Please, I don't know what to do." 2 hours later, I lie on Sarah's trundle bed, staring at glow-in-the-dark stars stuck to her ceiling. Her parents' whispered conversation drifts through the heating vent, just for a few days until she sorts this out, and not our problem, and calls social services. I press my palms against my eyes until colors burst behind my eyelids. The shock that numbed me earlier crystallizes into something harder, something with edges. They left me behind. But I won't stay broken. 6 days later, Sarah's mother hovers in the kitchen doorway, clutching her coffee mug like a shield. "Laurel, honey?" Bob and I were thinking. Her voice trails off, eyes darting to the clock above the stove. Day 6 of my unexpected homelessness, and the hints have grown less subtle by the hour. I've got some leads on places. I lie, gathering my waitress uniform from where it hangs over a kitchen chair. The same uniform I've washed in their sink each night, the polyester blend never quite losing its grease smell. That's wonderful. Relief floods her face. Because Bob's sister might visit next week, and the guest room. I understand. My smile feels stretched across my face, brittle as old plastic. I'll be out by Friday. The branch manager at Minneapolis Community Bank doesn't bother hiding his confusion when I request access to my savings account, the one I've fed with tips since sophomore year of high school. "I'm sorry, but this account shows a zero balance." He turns his monitor so I can see the screen. There was a withdrawal of $3,427.52 last Tuesday. The floor seems to tilt beneath me. That's impossible. I didn't withdraw anything. His expression shifts from confusion to pity. "It's a joint account, Miss Haverford. Your parents had full access." I stumble out into the September sunshine, dizzy with this fresh betrayal. They didn't just leave me, they cleaned me out first. Back at Sarah's, I tear through my backpack, searching for my folder of important documents. Birth certificate, gone. Social security card, gone. The only identification I have is my driver's license, miraculously still in my wallet. Mrs. Kosowski from 3 houses down finds me sitting on the curb outside my empty home that afternoon. "Such a shame about your folks moving," she says, stooping to retrieve her mail. "Been at it for weeks, loading that U-Haul after dark. Your daddy said they got a wonderful opportunity in Arkansas, couldn't pass it up." Arkansas. The word burns in my brain as I nod woodenly. "Always thought it strange they packed at night," she continued, squinting at me. "Your brother helped too. Sweet boy." That night, curled on Sarah's trundle bed, I searched Facebook on my phone. My mother's page takes seconds to find. There she is, smiling in front of an unfamiliar ranch-style house, my father's arm around her shoulders. "New beginnings in Bentonville. Blessed. Family first." Comments flood the post. "So happy for your fresh start. Praying for your troubled daughter who abandoned her family. God has a plan for all his children, even those who stray." My finger hovers over the screen, trembling. Another post from 3 days ago shows Colton in a new bedroom, arranging his gaming setup. My mother's caption, "Some choose their own path. We choose to move forward." A private message appears from my cousin Tara. "Is it true what Aunt Karen says? That you stole money and ran away?" I throw the phone across the room. Friday arrives with nowhere to go. The $79 monthly fee for an 8x10 storage unit takes most of my last paycheck, but the facility manager barely glances at my driver's license when I sign the contract. "No living in the units," he drones, sliding me the key. "No electrical appliances, no candles, no overnight stays. Security cameras in the hallways." I note which corners the cameras don't reach. After dark, I transform the concrete box with my meager possessions. Sleeping bag unrolled in the corner, backpack as pillow. Battery-powered lantern casting just enough light to write in the journal I shoplifted from Dollar General. The door locks from the inside, small mercy. The YMCA offers 3-day guest passes. That buys me 3 mornings of hot showers before I'll need another plan. The Minneapolis Public Library opens at 9 a.m. and closes at 8 p.m. 11 hours of warmth, bathrooms, and free internet. Margaret, the reference librarian with silver-streaked hair, notices me by the 3rd day. "Research project?" she asks, eyeing my notebook filled with lists. "Free meal sites, ID replacement procedures, cheap rooms for rent." "Sort of." I close the notebook. "Life skills independent study." Her eyes soften with something that might be understanding. "The job board just got updated this morning, and we have resume workshops on Tuesdays." "Thanks." I wait until she walks away before I allow myself to swallow the lump in my throat. That night at Rosie's Diner, I catch night manager Rick as he's counting the register. I need more hours, I tell him. Anything. Dishwashing, prep cook, cleaning. He studies me, taking in the shadows under my eyes, the careful way I've arranged my hair to hide that I haven't been able to wash it properly. Kitchen needs help on weekends. Cash only, off the books. $8 an hour. I'll take it. 2 weeks later, I stood in the doorway of a room for rent. $300 monthly, utilities included. The house smells of marijuana and old takeout. My roommates will be 3 community college students and someone's cousin who might be dealing with something but keeps to himself. The mattress on the floor has suspicious stains. The window doesn't lock, but it has 4 walls and a door that closes. I count out $15 $20 bills, me first combined paycheck from legitimate waitressing and under-the-table kitchen work. That night, I slept with my backpack strapped to my body, one arm through both straps. Before closing my eyes, I write in my journal, "I won't just survive, I'll build something they couldn't imagine." The words stare back at me, fierce and determined. I trace them with my finger, a promise to myself more binding than blood. 3 years later, the calculator flashes numbers that match my spreadsheet. Perfect balance. Again, I allow myself a small smile as I close the accounting software at Williams Accounting. 3 years of meticulous work has earned me this windowless cubicle with the constantly flickering fluorescent light, but I've never been prouder of anything in my life. "Laurel, did you finish the Henderson file?" Mr. Williams peers over my partition, his bushy eyebrows raised expectantly. "Just uploaded it to the server." I tap the keyboard, showing him the completed work. Also reorganized their expense categories. They were mixing business and personal expenses in ways that could trigger an audit. He studies the screen, nodding slowly. "You catch things the full-timers miss." His voice drops lower. "Speaking of which, have you considered my offer? Full-time position, benefits, actual vacation days?" The security of it tempts me, oh, how it tempts me. But I shake my head. "Can't drop my night classes, Mr. Williams. 2 more semesters until my associate's degree." He sighs but doesn't push. "Well, the door remains open. You're the only person under 30 who understands cash flow statements without me having to explain them 3 times. After he walks away, I check my bank account on my phony ritual that still calms the persistent flutter of anxiety in my chest. The numbers have meaning beyond their face value. $4,872.33 in savings, $1,200 in checking. Exactly $6,072.33 between me and homelessness. Between me and the storage unit that once served as my secret bedroom. I've calculated how much I need for true security. $15,000. Once I hit that number, maybe the nightmares will stop. Maybe I'll stop waking up at 3 a.m. to check that my apartment door is still locked. The walk to my studio apartment takes 12 minutes. I count the steps, another habit from those first weeks after they left. The apartment sits above a hardware store that closes at 6, meaning blessed quiet in the evenings when I study. 500 square feet of my own, painted sunny yellow on a Sunday when Melissa from accounting helped me transform the dingy beige walls. My furniture tells stories, the oak desk rescued from a curb during spring cleaning week, refinished with sandpaper and patience. The surprisingly comfortable futon from a graduating senior's apartment cleanout. The small dining table from Goodwill where I eat meals that I cook myself, following budget recipes I've perfected through trial and error. Everything earned, everything is mine. The community college textbooks spread across my desk remind me why I eat ramen 3 nights a week. Business management, accounting principles, marketing fundamentals. Every concept devoured and filed away in my brain. Ammunition for a future I'm building brick by brick. Thursday evening means grocery shopping at Wilson's Market, where the produce manager marks down vegetables at 7 p.m. sharp. I push my cart methodically through the aisles, calculator in hand, adding each item before it goes into my basket. I'm examining avocados when a voice stops me cold. "Laurel? Laurel Haverford?" The avocado slips from my fingers. Standing at the end of the produce section is Aunt Diane, my mother's sister. Her cart is full of party platters and wine bottles. Her face has aged since I last saw her at Christmas dinner 3 years ago. "It is you." She rushes forward, disbelief widening her eyes. "My God, we thought," they said. I straighten my spine, feet planted firmly against the linoleum. "Hello, Aunt Diane. We all thought you'd run away to California with some boyfriend." The words tumble out as she scans me from head to toe. "That's what Caroline and Robert told everyone. That you left a note and disappeared in the night." A strange calm settles over me. 3 years ago, this revelation would have shattered me. Today, it merely confirms what I already knew. Interesting story. My voice emerges steadier than I feel. Especially since I came home from work to find an empty house and this note. I pull out my wallet and unfold the paper I still carry. You're smart. You'll figure it out. Diane's face drains of color as she reads it. But that's Caroline's handwriting. Yes, it is. They packed up and moved to Arkansas, she whispers. Told everyone you'd abandoned them after a big fight. That you stole money. That you were troubled. And you believed them? She flinches. I suspected something wasn't right. The story had holes. Robert wouldn't let anyone contact you directly. Said you needed space, but I never imagined. Tears fill her eyes. You were just a child. I was 18, I corrected her. Old enough to be discarded. She reaches for my arm. I step back. Laurel, if I had known. But you didn't ask, did you? The words slice between us. No one did. Shoppers move around us, oblivious to the family apocalypse being excavated beside the avocado display. Diane fumbles in her purse for a tissue. Where have you been living? How did you manage? I consider walking away, leaving her questions hanging in the fluorescent-lit air. But something stops me. No forgiveness, but perhaps the power of finally controlling this narrative. I slept in a storage unit for 2 months, showered at the YMCA, worked double shifts at the diner. Applied for replacement identification since they took my birth certificate and social security card. Each sentence lands like a stone. Now I work at Williams Accounting, take night classes, and live in my own apartment. Her hand flutters to her throat. All alone? This whole time? Not alone anymore. The realization surprises me as I say it. I have people now, people who stay. That evening, Melissa calls as I'm reviewing notes for tomorrow's business management exam. Emergency taco night, she announces without preamble. Ryan bombed his nursing final and needs consolation nachos. You in? 3 years ago, I wouldn't have said yes. Wouldn't have known how to accept the easy generosity of friends. Tonight, I close my textbook. Give me 20 minutes. The following Tuesday, Mr. Williams places a folder on my desk labeled Riverside Craft Brewery Urgent. They're 3 months behind on payroll taxes, he explains. Owner's a mess but makes great beer. Can you look at their books and see if they're salvageable? They can't afford our regular rates, but I told him about you. I open the folder to financial chaos, handwritten receipts, uncategorized expenses, missing invoices. They need systems, I murmur, already seeing the patterns in the disorder. Basic inventory tracking, cash flow projections. This is fixable. Mr. Williams watches me with an odd expression. You know, most people see that mess and run screaming. He taps the folder. The owner's willing to pay you directly for after-hours consulting, outside our regular business. I look up, confused. You're referring them to me, personally? Laurel, you've got an instinct for this. For taking chaos and creating order. He clears his throat. I'd like to mentor you if you're interested. Teach you the consulting side of the business. 2 weeks later, I stand in Riverside Craft Brewery after hours, explaining my recommendations to owner Sam Turner, who stares at my reorganized spreadsheets like I've performed alchemy. This makes sense, he says, wonderment in his voice. I actually understand where my money goes now. Your business isn't failing, I tell him. Your bookkeeping is. Fix that and your brewery thrives. He implements every suggestion. Within 2 months, he referred me to his friend's landscaping company, then to a food truck operator. Each time, I create order from chaos, building systems that make sense for small business owners who know their craft but not their numbers. On my 24th birthday, 3 years later, I sit in my apartment, a larger one now, with an actual bedroom and windows that catch the morning light. A business card sits on my desk, fresh from the printer. Haverford Business Solutions. Laurel Haverford, small business consultant. My phone pings with a text from Melissa. Happy birthday, dinner at 7. Ryan's bringing that chocolate cake you pretend not to love. Another text arrives from my professor. The internship coordinator wants to talk to you about a paid position. Then, an email notification. A contract from my newest client, worth 6 months of my current salary. I run my fingers over the embossed business cards. 6 years ago, I sat on an empty kitchen floor, abandoned. Today, I'm building something they couldn't imagine and wouldn't recognize. My phone rings a number I don't recognize. Is this Laurel Haverford? A woman asks. I host the Small Business Breakthrough podcast. We read your blog post about business resilience after a crisis. Our listeners would love to hear your story. Would you consider being a guest? I look around at my apartment, at the life I've built from nothing but determination. Yes, I answer, surprising myself with the readiness to share my journey. I think I would. The Mississippi River stretches below my office window like a ribbon of possibility, sunlight dancing across its surface. I press my palm against the cool glass, still amazed sometimes that this view belongs to me. 12 years ago, I slept in a storage unit with my waitress uniform as a pillow. Now I have 7 employees and a corner office. Miss Haverford? Rachel knocks lightly on my open door. Your 10 o'clock canceled, but I scheduled the Henderson proposal for next Tuesday instead. Perfect. I smile at my business partner, the woman who took a chance on me when I was just a community college dropout with big ideas. That gives us time to refine the inventory control system. Rachel lingers, shifting her weight from one sensible heel to another. Also, that podcast producer called again. Left Behind Still Standing wants you for their season premiere. My stomach tightens. Tell them I'm not interested in personal stories. Laurel, Rachel steps closer, her voice softening. Your story matters. What you built matters. Small business owners who've hit rock bottom need to hear it. I turn back to the window, to the river that keeps flowing no matter what stands in its path. I'll think about it. 3 weeks later, I sit across from podcast host Tara Wilson in a downtown studio. Her silver-streaked hair frames a face lined with experience, eyes that have clearly witnessed their share of human drama. Today, we're talking with Laurel Haverford, founder of Haverford Business Solutions. Tara's voice has that perfect radio timbre. Laurel helps struggling businesses find their footing again, but her own journey began with a fall that would have broken most people. The microphone looms between us like an accusation. I focus on my breathing 4 counts in, 4 counts out, just as Dr. Bennett taught me. So Laurel, tell our listeners what happened when you were 18. My carefully rehearsed opening vanishes. Instead, raw truth spills out. I came home from my waitressing shift and found an empty house. My parents and younger brother had taken everything: furniture, photos, clothes had disappeared. They left me a single note. You're smart. You'll figure it out. Tara's professional composure cracks. They just left you at 18? Yes. The word hangs between us. No warning, no explanation, no goodbye. Where did you go that night? The memory unfolds with surprising clarity. A friend's house, then a storage unit when her parents wanted me gone, then a shelter, then rooms for rent with strangers. And your family? They told everyone I'd run away, that I'd stolen money, that I'd chosen to abandon them. My voice doesn't waver anymore when I say these things. They built a whole narrative where they were the victims. The interview continues my path from homelessness to community college, from administrative work to launching my own consulting firm. The story of resilience that audiences crave. What I don't share, the nightmares that still wake me. The panic that rises when someone doesn't answer my call. The 3 therapists it took to find Dr. Bennett, who finally understood that some wounds don't heal, they just become part of your landscape. Laurel Haverford built a 7-figure business from absolute zero. Tara concludes. What would you tell someone facing similar abandonment? I lean toward the microphone. I'd tell them that family isn't always blood, that rock bottom can become a foundation, that the people who leave you don't get to define who you become. The podcast airs on a Tuesday. By Friday morning, it's been downloaded 2 million times. My inbox overflows with messages from abandoned children, now adults, who finally feel seen. Then, like a stone dropping into still water, a different kind of message arrives. Laurel, you're still our daughter, we should talk. My mother's email. Formal, cold, no apology. I stare at the screen until my vision blurs, until Rachel touches my shoulder, asking if I'm okay. Before I can answer, a second message appears. From Colton. I've missed you. Can we talk? Please. My chest constricts. The office walls close in. 12 years of carefully constructed safety crumbles around me as past and present collide. I fumble for my phone. Dr. Bennett first. Then Marcus, my attorney. Finally Rachel, to handle operations while I navigate this earthquake. 1 week and 3 therapy sessions later, I send a single reply, not to my mother, but to my brother. Chicago, Neutral ground, public place. His response comes within minutes. Thank you. I book a hotel under a different name, pack a bag with careful precision, prepare for every scenario except the one Colton delivers over coffee in a crowded downtown cafe. Next Wednesday in Chicago, the river outside my hotel window isn't the Mississippi, but it flows with the same certainty. I watch it carry boats and debris alike, everything moving forward no matter what tries to anchor it to the past. Then I call Dr. Bennett. They want what I built, I tell her, after leaving me with nothing. And what do you want, Laurel? She asks. For the first time in 12 years, the answer comes without hesitation or doubt. I want to choose my family, and they're not it. On Thursday morning, Chicago air feels different from Minneapolis, heavier, more intrusive. I arrive at Millennium Park 30 minutes early, a habit born from years of planning for every contingency. The gleaming bean sculpture reflects distorted versions of myself as I circle it, practicing what I'll say to a brother who has become a stranger. I spot him before he sees me. Colton stands near the cafe entrance, checking his phone every few seconds. He's filled out since I last saw him, broader shoulders, the beginnings of our father's paunch around his middle. At 28, his hairline has already started its slow retreat. When our eyes finally lock, his face performs a complicated dance of emotions: relief, guilt, anxiety, before settling on an uncertain smile. Laurel. He steps forward, arms extending for a hug that feels like embracing a mannequin. You look successful. You look tired, I reply, noting the shadows beneath his eyes as we pull apart. The cafe hums with lunchtime chatter, providing both background noise and witnesses. Strategic choice. I selected a corner table, my back to the wall, full view of exits. Old habits. I ordered you black coffee, Colton says, sliding a mug toward me. You still take it that way? The fact he remembers this small detail irritates me more than if he'd forgotten. Let's not pretend we know each other, Colton. It's been 12 years. He winces, fingers drumming against his cup. I was 16, Laurel. They controlled everything: the money, the car, where we lived. What was I supposed to do? Call me, right? Something besides vanishing without a trace? The words come out sharper than intended. I take a steadying breath. I'm not here to rehash the past. You asked to meet. Why? Colton's gaze darts toward the door again before he leans forward. I have a family now. A wife, Jenny, and a little girl, Amelia. She's 2. His face softens. Another baby on the way. I say nothing, waiting. Dr. Bennett taught me this technique: silence draws out the truth faster than questions. Things haven't been easy, he continues, voice dropping. Amelia had some health problems when she was born. Insurance didn't cover everything. Then housing costs in Arkansas skyrocketed. His eyes meet mine, pleading. Mom and Dad moved in with us 6 months ago. It was supposed to be temporary. Now we arrive at it. And? They lost everything in that restaurant venture. Bad investment. He rubs his face with both hands. Jenny's pregnant again, medical bills are piling up, and Mom and Dad can't contribute much. I'm sorry about your situation, I say, meaning it, but I don't understand what this has to do with me. Colton reaches for his phone, pulls up a photo of a chubby-cheeked toddler with his eyes and our mother's smile. This is your niece, Laurel. Don't you want to be her aunt? The manipulation is so transparent it almost makes me laugh. That's a beautiful child, Colton. But showing me her picture doesn't erase 12 years of silence. Mom cries about you sometimes, he says, voice dropping to a near whisper. She keeps that old photo from the state fair on her nightstand, the one where you're holding that ridiculous stuffed panda I won. Heat rises in my chest. Interesting, because according to her Facebook posts, I ran away with a drug dealer and refused all contact with my heartbroken family. His face pales. You saw those? Jenny's not the only one who can use social media. I take a sip of coffee, letting the bitterness fuel me. So, which version is true, Colton? Am I the abandoned daughter or the rebellious runaway? He shifts uncomfortably, then glances toward the door again, with such obviousness that I turn to look. There they stand, my parents 12 years older but instantly recognizable. Mother's hands clutched at her chest, father's arm around her shoulders, both watching our table with naked anticipation. You brought them. My voice turns to ice, after I specifically said just you. They're waiting nearby, Colton admits. They want to see you, to explain. There's nothing to explain. I gather my purse and stand. This meeting is over. You're being selfish, Colton's voice rises, drawing glances from nearby tables. People make mistakes, Laurel. They're family. I lean down, close enough that only he can hear me. Family doesn't abandon an 18-year-old with a note saying, "Figure it out." Family doesn't empty her bank account and steal her identification. Family doesn't spread lies for 12 years then show up when they need money. I never said. You didn't have to. I straighten, meeting his gaze fully. Tell them not to contact me again. My attorney handles harassment now. As I walk toward the exit, the one farthest from where my parents stand, my phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. This is Jenny, Colton's wife. Can we talk privately? There's more you should know. I'll be at the Palmer House lobby tomorrow at 10 if you're willing. I glanced back at my brother, still seated, his head bowed in defeat. My finger hovers over the delete button, then shifts to reply. I'll be there. Sometimes allies appear from unexpected corners. 3 months later, the courtroom air hangs thick with tension as I smooth my charcoal pencil skirt, its crisp edges a stark contrast to the chaos unfolding before me. My parents sit across the aisle, Mom in a floral dress that screams concerned mother, while Dad's navy sport coat strains against his shoulders as he leans forward, whispering to their attorney. All rise, the bailiff calls. Judge Kessler enters, a woman in her 60s with silver-streaked hair and reading glasses that catch the fluorescent light. She scans the room, her gaze lingering on my parents before settling on me. My attorney, Marcus, stands tall beside me, case files arranged with military precision. Restraining order petition, 47,329, Haverford versus Haverford, the clerk announces. My last name against my last name. The irony burns in my throat. Your Honor, Mom's attorney begins. These parents have been desperately trying to reconnect with their daughter. This restraining order would cruelly sever. Your Honor, Marcus interrupts. May I present evidence of the defendant's conduct? Without waiting for an answer, he approaches the bench with a thick folder. 27 unannounced visits to Miss Haverford's workplace. 14 instances of waiting outside her residence. 63 emails sent after explicit request to cease contact. 3 attempts to access her financial accounts. My father's face reddens. Mom dabs at non-existent tears. They've crafted a narrative portraying my client as unstable, prompting welfare checks from authorities. Marcus continues. They've contacted her clients with false allegations about her business practices. Judge Kessler flips through the evidence, her expression hardening with each page. Mrs. Haverford Sr., she clarifies, looking at my mother. You claim your daughter is being unreasonable? We're her parents, Mom whispers, voice cracking. We made a mistake. A mistake, I repeat, the words tasting like metal. Marcus squeezes my arm, but I shake him off and stand. Your Honor, may I speak? The judge nods. 12 years ago, I came home to an empty house. Everything gone except my bedroom. A single note. You're smart. You'll figure it out. I was 18. My voice doesn't waver. They didn't just abandon me, they weaponized the lie of family. Told everyone I'd run away. Stole my savings. Left me homeless. Dad shifts in his seat, eyes fixed on the floor. Now that I've built something for myself, they want back in. When I refused, they began stalking me. Judge Kessler removes her glasses. Mr. and Mrs. Haverford, the court finds clear evidence of harassment. The restraining order is granted, effective immediately. I exhale slowly, 12 years of weight lifting from my shoulders. Family isn't something you're given, it's something you earn. And after I walk out of that courtroom, I will build something even greater with my chosen family, not the supposed one, and I don't turn around.